Abel Amunga. Yeah. A lot of people know Abel Amunga. And they know this guy is a strong guy. But, I know myself. I know my weak points. I know points where I can just go back to my house, lock the house and cry.
Yeah.
I do that. Or just sit in my car, niende nipark huko kwa kiwanja huko, na niweke AC na nifunge madirisha. Na nilie. When I come out of that car, unakutana na mimi, "Oh, I know you. Can I take a selfie?" I have to smile in that selfie.
Yeah. What's up, guys, and welcome to the Art Scene Show, a show where we feature top industry players in the film industry. My name is Cheptoek Boyo, and with me today I have another awesome guest. His name is Abel Amunga. He is an actor, a voice artist, an MC, and a musician. Welcome to the show, Abel.
Thank you so much, Boyo. Thank you. I'm really honored.
Karibu sana.
Asante.
First, I want to thank you.
Asante.
I know you might not be sure what I'm thanking you for, but this is something you did for me 12 years ago.
What?
Yes. So in 2008, yes, it was my first time on set.
Yes.
Papa Shirandula.
Okay.
Me and you were casted as police.
As cops.
Cops kwa your show.
Or detectives.
Detective, more of cops.
Yeah.
Yes. And mimi ilikuwa tense. I had only been used to acting on stage and the stage at high school, let us see stage at theater.
Yeah.
And then ulikuwa unaniambia fanya hivi, tulia hivi.
Oh my goodness.
All the retakes. You were very patient because for other actors they'll be like, "Mbona mleta huyu dem," when there are better people here. Yeah, but for you saw in me something, and that patience.
I wish
people
that have been through my hands, like people have helped along the way, would be able to recognize me and appreciate me the way you are doing. Unfortunately, most people don't. Like once they've made it, ni wow, nilianza mimi
nimejifikisha hapa, which is always a lie.
Yeah, it's true.
Thank you so much for that. By the way,
you're most welcome.
So when did you realize you wanted to act? Ikazi ya cinema.
Honestly, the most surprising thing is I never sought after being an actor, more so an actor on screen or stage, because me, it just came automatically, I just slid into it. I did not realize. I did not sit down and say, "Oh, I want to seek for auditions. I want to go for what? I want to call what to help me to get into this industry." No, I found myself. But basically, when I was in high school, I remember I used to write plays. And my school was not very keen on drama, and it was only keen on music, but not on drama.
Yeah.
So I was just a loner as far as drama is concerned. So I would just mobilize a few students, then I would write something and I coach them, and we would act it out maybe on special days like Parents' Day or something like that. But we never got into national or provincial competitions. Later on, I came to Nairobi and I joined a church, and I still did the same. When I found the youth in the church, I wrote plays and I taught the youth, and therefore we would act in church. And I stood out. So when I stood out, people actually started calling me by names. I would take the characters I would take in church. Like I remember specifically, there's a name I've been referred to for the longest time. It's Fadili from my church. Fadili was a guy who pretended to be saved, but he had noticed a beautiful lady in church like you. So akajifanya yeye ni mwokovu, akakuja akaingia praise and worship, lakini aim yake ilikuwa moja,
to get the girl.
Bila alimchukua kumrudisha kwa nyumba, makucha ikatoka sasa. So that was Fadili. So later on, what landed me into screen acting is I got into voiceovers, TV and radio voiceovers, commercials. One gentleman noticed me. I was working in a Muindi's shop selling spare parts. So every time he would come buying spare parts, he would say, "Hey, this salesman has a good voice. Have you ever tried radio?" I'm like, "No, sasa nianzie wapi?" So one day he came and said, "There's a radio show that is starting and they're looking for a presenter. Are you able?" I said, "I can't." Just come and
this
try.
was which station?
KBC.
Okay.
So I landed a job as a presenter for a show on KBC. It used to be called Njoo Tujadiliane. Many years ago.
Yes.
Was sponsored by Kappa Oil Refineries.
Yes.
So I was the pioneer presenter for that show. He used to come every Sunday morning around 8 a.m., 8:30, something like that. So that's how I started. So when I landed on this show, producers started noticing me, calling me, can you come for voiceover auditions? Every voice I went to audition,
I got it.
Every voice, I got it. I did so many radio ads and TV ads. And then later on, there was a production called Sound and Pictures.
Yes,
you remember?
State House Road.
They called me for a TV ad for Lenga June Stare. It was for Stare Boys. They were actually soliciting funds for the boys there. And DT Dobby was donating a Mercedes C180 and at the same time promoting the new Mercedes C180. Okay. So I was called for that audition and I got it. So that was my first TV job.
You are highly favored.
I was highly favored. So when I got that first TV audition, the TV ad, I shot it and it was good. And then other TV ads came. Every audition I went for TV ads, I got. Either I get the main role or the featured role, but at least I would land a role. I would hardly fail an audition.
So which one was your debut show? Now that at this time you're very big on radio, but you had not done TV.
Oh, I hadn't done TV.
So which was this first show that you did?
So after several TV ads, then I had producers asking me why I'm not doing TV series or TV dramas and stuff. So I got the first TV show. That was not my debut though, because it never went anywhere. After I just joined it, it didn't go anywhere. It was known as Better Days. It was on KTN, remember? Yes. Just came on board and then the
show was cancelled.
Yes, it faded. Then later on, I was called by two gentlemen. One gentleman was called Kiseo, and the other gentleman was called who? The Ken TV guys, you know.
The Tabasamu guys.
Yes. Then. So that was my debut TV program to appear in.
Okay.
Tabasamu, and a lot of people still call me Tabasamu up to now. Older ones who watch Tabasamu. Others even call me Maya because Maya was outstanding in the show. You remember Maya, Rosemary?
Yes.
Yes. So because Maya and Penny, Gloria, Mara, they were competitors. They all were after me. So when I ribiana.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Tabasamu was the thing. Then after Tabasamu, other shows came along all the way to now.
And the list is endless.
The rest is history, as they say. Yeah.
Back to voice, being a voiceover artist.
Yeah.
You're now the station voice for Citizen Radio.
Radio number 1. Yes.
How did you get this job? Did they approach you? Did you go for a job interview?
No. I remember I was actually at film studios. I'd gone to attend some interviews for something. I can't remember. Then I got this phone call from a lady who was working there then. I think she was a producer. So she asked me, would you like to come and try for a job here at Citizen Radio? I said, what kind of job? I'm not trained in
radio presenting.
Radio, no journalism or nothing. I don't have any media knowledge. She said, just come. All we need is your voice. So I said, okay. So I went. So I was given a bunch of papers, scripts with some drops and stuff to read. So I read. I went through. They said, go through it. When you're comfortable, come to the microphone and try it. Let's try your voice. So I went through scripts and everything. So I went to the microphone. There was a lady producer there. Wherever she is, Simaloi, I really, really, really celebrate you to this very day because you made me who I am today. So Simaloi trained me through all that. And I recorded several drops for the station, other branding issues, stuff for the station. Later on, the same day, I was given a badge for an attaché. I was told, okay, you're hired.
Now you're learning from work.
Yes, learning from work. All you need to do is come and sign your contract and learn from work. So Simaloi really worked on me. Wow. Simaloi, another gentleman called Vinny, another gentleman, and a lady called Beryl. I can't forget those people.
Nice.
Yes.
Big up to them for
for
helping you
to become a radio voice. And
Yes.
actually for radio number 1.
yes.
And the longest station voiceover, longest serving. I think because I've been the longest. I've been stations VO for the last 16 years for Citizen Radio.
Wow. That's long term considering the media. You know the media work here. It's
Yes.
you're not guaranteed that longevity.
No.
But you, I'm telling you, you have been favored.
Thank the Lord, though. Yes.
You are also a musician
Yes.
and a music coach.
Yes.
And you have coached one of the most talented people in this country, your daughter,
Would that be Ruth?
Ruth Matete.
Thank you.
So now, when did you know you have a gift of singing?
That was way back, like a lot of people. I know everyone you ask that question says, I started singing when I was a child, and I usually don't like saying that, though I also started singing when I was a small boy. Because I remember we used to live in Uganda when I was about 4, 5, 6, 7 years. And then a lot of people would frequent our home. And every time they would come to our home, they would ask my mom, where's Abel atuimbie? Abel yuko hapa atuimbie? Wow. So I had 2, 3 songs. Every time guests would come around, my mom would come and say, come, simama hapa, ebu, baba, waimbie. Ndakupatia chapati because she knew I like chapati. Nikisikia chapati.
Braibiwa.
Naanza. Mechero mukate kwa bulamu. Before I broke my voice. So, that's when I started singing. That is as far as I can remember. But later on, serious singing started when I grew up and I saw both parents going to church for choir practice because they've all been choir members for an Anglican church. We grew up in a small Anglican church in Kakamega called Milimani, at a place called Milimani. So my mom used to sing soprano. My dad used to sing bass. And that's how we became, I think that's how they nurtured us, because every time we would follow them up to practice and we would sit down back at the pews as we watched them sing. And then later on, we also developed interest. When I say we, I also include my brother, Noah Amunga, who is a musician as well.
Okay.
So we would emulate them, and later on, we started learning to play instruments, specifically guitar. So I actually started playing guitar at a very tender age. Nice. And the first guitar I played was my own made. I made my own guitar out of some wood. Wow. I destroyed my mom's sieve. Ile ya kuchunga unga.
Kuchapwa.
Nikatoa zile waya. Nikaeka hapo. Yeah? Kuchapwa ni lazima.
Lazima
Talent will grow. Yes. So that's how I started. And then later on, high school at the same time, as I did drama, I also did music. And then church really nurtured me. I came to Nairobi. I joined a renowned choir here. It was called IFC Choir, IFC Jericho. You remember?
Yes.
Yes. Hey. That was my first choir ever here. So I joined that
walienda wapi kwanza hawa?
Wako. But sasa you with na digital na music ikichange hivi, sasa kwaya zinaanza kuonwa kama ushamba. Unajua sasa kuna watu wanaona kwaya kama ni ushamba. Mpaka ma DJ wakiweka song yani nimeuona mkono, unaona wana dance yani ile
guys are clowning it.
They are clowning. It's not something an in thing size, ni kama wana kejeli yani kama
when I reduce to this is just a joke. Yeah.
But choir was the real thing then. So choir has really nurtured me. I became a music director there in that church. So I coached that choir for a while. We even flew out of the country during my tenure. We went to Norway, came back.
Nice.
Yes.
Now, as a voice coach, you coached your daughter. When did you realize you can coach someone, or you wanted to expand your singing now to coaching not only your daughter but other people you do?
When I was in Shags, before I came to Nairobi, I used to train a local church choir. And then the choir became so renowned that other churches around our location, and nowadays around our county, started calling me in for specialized training that we would like you to come and train our church choir as well. So I would go from one church to another, and kienda kwa ingine naambia, well, how much do you charge? Naambia ukinipatia tu kama 50 bob, 30 bob. Then that was a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I would go training and kama hizo. And then that's when I realized I had a unique skill of listening to wrong chords, wrong keys, and being able to correct. So that's how I started training, and then it went on and on. It later became personalized. That's especially when music in Kenya turned into, they call themselves solo artists, because a lot of people now broke up from choirs, from small groups. Even some of the established groups, people just broke up and they went on their own. They became independent.
Yeah.
So when someone becomes independent, they realize, no, I still need some more coaching to be able to make it as an individual. So a lot of people would come to me and, Abel Amunga, I want you to help my vocals. And niko na shida ya kusustain voice yangu.
Yeah.
Niko na shida tremolo mtu fanya aje. Namwambia hiyo si important sana kwa music. No, vitu kama hizo. Hold breath. So a lot of people would come to me, and a lot of people would also come to me to show them how to do harmonies, ad-libbing, and stuff like that. So I never went to school. It just developed like that, and eventually I became a music coach.
And you have worked with a lot of local gospel musicians.
Yes.
Who are some of them when you're a coach?
Well, the list is endless. Like you say, I've worked with Mary Atieno. You know Mary Atieno? Yes. Actually, those are the pioneer people that I've worked with in the IFC choir. And then the most renowned musicians in Kenya, like, of course, the late Angela Chibalonza. I've worked with her.
How was she working with her?
She was really humble. And the reason she started working with me is because she realized I was working with Mary Atieno. And when she came to Kenya, she told me Mary Atieno was her idol. So she came to Kenya specifically to look for Mary Atieno. And when I met her in some studio here at Madaraka West, there was a studio for them Mushrooms. That's when I met her, sitting out there. Actually, she was sleeping on a couch. Yeah, just idling around there. Hata mimi nataka siku moja niweze kurecord. So she was...
Wow.
So I told her, ebu imba kidogo. So all the songs she sang were for Mary Atieno. And I told her, unajua Mary Atieno mimi ndio namfundisha music. Sasa nimepata mtu. So that's how we became tight with Angela. We became so tight. We became prayer partners, music, confidants.
Yeah.
And every single song that Angela wrote or recorded, I was part of it. I was to be part of it. Most of her initial songs, I played the bass guitar and also did some backup. I gathered BGVs for her. I looked for producers all around town for her. And then later on, she was to become what she was until God took her home.
Okay.
And then other singers include people like Ben Gidai, Isaac Ahora, Sarah K, Mary Gedinji.
Tuko na beef na Ben Gidai. Asituibie.
Wachana na kijana wangu.
Asituibie ni election songs hatutaki. Iwe tuletea shida sana. Naimbe tu gospel.
Ben Gidai nafikiri umesikia.
Fikisha message.
Ben Gidai nafikiri turudi pale tulianzia. Yeah, and so on and so forth. Yeah.
You are on a spiritual journey, basically a person following God's path and church.
Yeah.
Are there roles you can't play?
Yes.
Which ones and why?
I am a role model for many people. A lot of people look up to me, and I've met so many young people say, look, I want to be like you. And you see, when someone tells you, I want to be like you, you definitely will look onto your positive traits. You are like, I wish they would not be this part of me. I wish they would just focus on being this part of me. So you really try to focus on your positive side,
Yeah.
even if you know that this other side is not it's not that
straight.
Sio dhambi. There are things people categorize kama dhambi na si dhambi. But we do not do those things for the sake of the weaker people. Because there are people kwa mfano wewe kuvaa sasa trouser vile umevaa saizi. There are churches you would walk into, and the pastors and the ladies and the women would look at you like,
very judgmental.
A sinner has just walked into church today. And then one of the ladies would come with a leso and cover your legs like this.
Ama akuambie ndio hii leso.
Ndio hii leso tumia dada. Yeah. There are those ones. And there are other churches, you'd walk in, with your nice jeans like this. You go up there, you sing a song, or you give an encouragement or give a testimony, and they will be blessed. So it depends on what kind of the level of faith the person you're dealing with is. So a lot of people approach me and tell me, you're my role model. I would like to be like you. So I really watch the things I do and the things I should not do. For example, I do not take alcohol roles in like TV. Like
so adverts you won't endorse, advertise alcohol products.
Thank you. Well said. Yes. I can only act, because act is just acting after all. It's not the real thing.
Unapeanga ile bad guys, so you have to be...
Yo glass nimeshika hiyo inakuanga na black currant. Ama strong tea imedilutiwa so inakaa kao.
Ama apple juice
inakaa kao kwa nini, ni whiskey ama nini? Anda ni gin ama sijui.
Ujogi vitu na kunywa.
Me I'm not sikunywangi, sijai kunywa.
Whiskey.
Inakuanga whiskey ya
kakala. Whiskey ile.
Yes, so sasa hiyo nashika tu hivyo to act. Hata kanisani unaweza act nayo. Unaelewa? Pale mbele. But now sasa kuendorse tu kabisa bia. Nishike bia namna hivi niseme hii inajulikana kama Boyo Malt Lager. Lakini kunywa niseme so refreshing. Hapana.
Yo uchovi hivyo.
Do you know how many young men wataenda kunywa hiyo bia? Ni wangapi wataenda kunywa?
Wengi sana.
Wale wana look up to me.
Yes.
So many. Abel Amunga ameendorse hiyo bia.
Yeah.
Hiyo iko sawa. Unajua nani ameendorse bia? So yeah, things like that's just an example.
Even fellow upcoming actors.
Yes.
Like I just want to be like Abel. Yeye ndio anakunywanga ibia.
Brand Abel ndio hiyo. Yeah.
Having starred on top shows kama nini Tabasamu, Selena, Sense8, Crime and Justice, Mali.
Sense8. Umesema Sense8?
Yeah, Sense8. Which TV producer would you want to work with and why?
To this very day, I'd like to work with Ruben Odanga of Molten Productions. He's my current TV producer right now. And not just because he's my current. I've worked with many other producers, but we seem to have bonded with this guy much, much better than other producers I've worked with before. Okay, there's one other lady that I will not mention now, but I have two special ladies who have been my good producers in the past. Yeah. But for the longest time, this gentleman I'm talking about has watched my moves. He has...
He's actually releasing a movie.
Yes, I'm aware.
Nafsi.
He's releasing Nafsi, yes.
And Nani was here. Alfred Munyo was here.
Yeah.
Said amazing words about him. So he must be doing something right.
You can't fail to say amazing words about Ruben Odanga. You know, Ruben Odanga is an artist himself. He's a msanii, unaelewa?
Yeah.
So msanii anaproduce wasanii wenzake. So you understand the gist.
Anakuelewa vizuri sana.
Anakuelewa vizuri, anaelewa aspects zote. He's not just a producer, but he's also a director. He's an amazing director.
Yeah.
So hiyo directing iko ndani yake. Hata akiproduce, akikuja set anajifanya kama producer, anasimama hapo. Utakuta utaangalia tu facial expressions zake, unaona kitu inamchoma akuja direct. Unaelewa?
Yeah.
So yeah, he's an awesome guy. He thinks out of the box when it comes to production and directing. He's a story writer, I should say, because he really gives a lot of nice stories, even on set, even off set. You know, he's a guy you would like to sit with and listen to him. He's built me. He's not just given me. He's not just been produced me in Selena, but we've done other stuff with him before. Other stuffs have not managed to go on air.
Okay.
But he's casted me in a lot of his projects. Yes. So yeah, he's a guy I would say, plus a few others. But for now, that's the guy I would.
He's the top.
He's the one I've vouched for.
What's your dream role to play?
Okay. You know, Boyo, you know my roles, like every other viewer knows, Abel Amunga has been stereotyped. Wamenicast kwa roles ambazo every time I look like a bad guy, I either look like a guy who doesn't have senses, guy who doesn't have regard for women, a player, a drunkard, mtu anapenda pesa kwa kizungu anaitwaje?
Money-minded person.
A money-minded person, like I am in Selena right now. So a lot of productions have casted me specifically with that role in mind. So like, a lot of producers would go like, okay, I'm writing this series, and there's this gentleman who is like between 40 to 50 years old. He's a rich guy. Then someone just starts saying, that must be Abel Amunga. Do you know anyone who can fit that role? Call Abel Amunga.
So now the director just has
call
to
Abel
call
Amunga. Yes, call Abel Amunga. So Abel Amunga has become another bad guy of Kenya, just like Patience Ozoko is another bad woman in Nigeria. Yeah, but we are good people in ourselves. Abel Amunga is a nice person. But the roles I take usually cause other people to see me as a bad person. Like the other day I was walking into a wedding to MC, and then these ladies approach me and they say, hey, we know you would like to take selfies. One of the ladies literally says, I'm not shaking your hand because I don't like you.
Ouch.
The other ladies are, please, baby girl, he's a good guy. This is not the guy you see on
TV.
I know him. He's the one. Why are you lying to me? He's the one. I hate him.
Wow.
Like, okay, madam, I'm sorry. That's just a role. I'm just a good actor, bringing out a role as it should
that
be.
Is so believable until they believe.
Yes, because it's a script at the end of the day. Everything I say or do is scripted. So please don't take it personal. But she wouldn't understand. So
which will be your dream role apart from me typecast?
Sorry, I drifted from the question. My dream role would be, I'd like to be a loving husband, a really, really loving husband, and a loving father, daddy, or a straightforward, God-fearing bishop.
Bishop ana vituko, like
Bishop,
good bishop.
Bishop ana expose evils kwa church yake, ana expose ama pastors wengine anawatoa kwa church, ama anawa cancel, anawa correct.
Yeah.
Unaelewa, bishop anaelewa watu wanakuja kanisani hawafai kwa maholi people wote. A bishop understands that church is a house ambayo inafaa ni kama garage ya roho za watu.
Yes.
Inafaa kutengeneza watu wabaya wanaingia church, because you don't make churches for
perfect people. No. You've been in the industry for 22 years.
Yes.
What do you think young people coming in are making as mistakes?
First and foremost, they come in with a mindset of becoming celebrities, not even making money, because a lot of young people have approached me before saying, is there a way you can connect me with acting? I'm a good actor. See, I won this and this in high school. I had all these awards. A lot of them say, mi nataka tu niingize kwa TV, hata sitaki pesa. Nataka tu. So I'm like, why would you want to come on TV? Why would you want to get into acting industry without a mindset of, making a living out of it?
Yes.
Utalipaje rent? How would you like to further your education while acting?
And then pressure pia, now you're a celeb and you have no money. How, because they expect you to drive, they expect you to dress nicely. So you sink into more depression because, ulitaka kuwa tu star, and then now, all of a sudden, imehappen umekuwa star.
Thank you.
With no money.
That's the point nilikuwa naenda kuisema, lakini umesema vizuri sana. Because a lot of them are falling into depression because of trying to live above their standards. They want to live like so-and-so. They want to live where they cannot afford rent. They want to dress like but they cannot afford. Baka wengine wanaenda wanafanya vitu zingine mbaya. Like I was watching something on YouTube today. It's called what? Loyalty something. It's content that every young man nowadays is getting into. These young people are getting into
online comedy.
Yes,
scene.
Content in the loyalty shows, relationship loyalty tests or something like that. One gentleman, where they exchange phones, and then you go through your girlfriend's phone, and then after that you go through your boyfriend's phone, and then you discover he's playing you, stuff like that. This boy just confessed to the girl and said, "Look, I am your boyfriend, but where do you think I got the money to buy that TV set from? I'm a driver. I can't get money to buy, even if I saved for a year, I can't get money to buy your set.
Yeah.
I'm an escort. Yeah, that's what I do. So now that you've discovered from my phone, I have to be open and tell you, mimi ndio kitu nafanya."
Hiyo ndio tunakulia hapa hivi.
Tunakulia hata wewe, hizo nguo umevaa zimetokana na huyo mama umeona kwa simu hapa size. So the lady is like, nini sikupatii. So the gentleman says, "Haunipatii pesa." So you see, this guy wants to live standard ambayo si yake. To please this lady and himself, and to show people that he has money but he doesn't have money. So he has to go to the extreme
ways to make money.
Correct.
Wow. You are a father to Ruth Matete, and last year she had a pretty much hard year for her.
Yeah.
Seeing your daughter going through all that, what did that teach you?
First of all, it's all about fate. There's no way you can control fate. Things happen in our lives that we have no control over. Like what you've specifically talked about is, I guess, should be the major thing that happened to her was the loss of her husband through a fire accident. And then the eventually the bashing, the media, bullying and all that she had to go through after losing her husband. That was really, really devastating for me as a parent, bearing in mind that I have been the only parent for her.
Yeah.
She has no mother and she has no siblings.
Yeah.
I'm the father, I'm the mother, and
You're
I'm
the sibling.
the sibling. And even at some point, we usually joke and say, remember when we were growing like 20 years ago, we like literally grown together.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she's exactly half my age. Something like that.
Oh, this is a high school child.
Yeah, she's a high school child. So it was really devastating for me. It was, I really went through stuff that I never wanted her to know that I'm going through, because I was the only pillar for her. So I was, the only option I had was to stand strong every time, because there were even moments I felt like tearing, but you see, you cannot do that.
Not tear in front of her.
No, you can't. So I had to stand strong. But also the fact that I'm a Christian really helped me a lot, because sometimes, as Abel Amunga, a lot of people know Abel Amunga, and they know this guy is a strong guy. But I know myself. I know my weak points. I know points where I can just go back to my house, lock the house and cry. I do that. Or just sit in my car, niende nipake huko kwa kiwanja huko, na niweke AC na nifunge madirisha. Na nilie. When I come out of that car, unakutana na mimi, oh, I know you. Can I take a selfie? I have to smile in that selfie.
Yeah.
So I went through that. Prayer was my main pillar of survival. And also I had a few friends who I can count on, who stood with me, would encourage me, would call me late in the night. Are you okay? Have you eaten? Because even some nights I would go without eating. What is food if my daughter is going through this? I'm sure my daughter hasn't eaten. Why would I eat? Why would I sit to feast when my daughter is starving because she is not able to eat? She went through a lot during that time. I had to make sure that I am in constant contact with her, because when someone is in that kind of state, they are vulnerable, and I did not want a double tragedy.
Yeah.
She's
really a
very
triple
vulnerable,
one, because she was with child.
She was with a child, yes. And even when you talk about that, carrying that pregnancy to us was a blessing, because we were expecting an angel. At the same time, we were just juggling between life and death, because her state was, she was undergoing intense stress, and that wasn't good for the child.
Yeah.
And even she was not able, because of that, she was not able to carry the child to, what do you call
Full
it?
term.
Full term. So the doctors called me one day, and they gave the phone to her, and like, talk to your dad and tell your dad you've been diagnosed with a condition called preeclampsia, something like that. I think you've heard of it. Yeah. And she was crying on phone and saying, Daddy, now I'm the next one to go after my husband, because now this condition has claimed my two friends in the recent past. Wow. The babies have survived, but my friends have died. Mm-hmm. The same condition.
Yeah, it's very dangerous.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because usually, most cases, the mother dies and the child survives, because the pressure is in the mother, not in the child. Mm-hmm. So as usual, I've always learned to speak positively to her. Like, I instill only positive vibrations into my daughter. And no, you will not die and the baby will not die, okay? I am coming there right now.
Because she was scared.
Yes.
So bad energies were coming up.
Yes, exactly. So I'm like, no, look, listen to me. Skiza, shut up. Niskize, nyamaza. You are not dying and the baby is not dying. Both of you will survive. Do you trust me? Yes, Daddy. Do you believe me? Yes. okay, I have said it and I'm your daddy, I've said it, you not. Then I go, God, please. God.
I hope I was not too harsh.
God, please, yeah, not even too harsh. I hope what I'm saying, you understand?
She hears and internalizes.
Yeah, no, I hope God actualizes what I've said so that she doesn't have to come and say, Daddy, but you said she will not die, but my baby,
Oh, my baby died.
Yeah, but you said, because she trusts that everything I say usually happens.
It will happen.
But apparently, a lot of things that I've spoken about her to her life have come to pass. So this has also built my faith as far as declaring and decreeing as a parent and speaking into someone's life is concerned, because the things you say and you purpose in your heart, even you, ninaweza kukubariki saizi.
Nibariki. Ninapenda blessing.
Nakubariki, nabariki show yako.
Thank you.
Nabariki show yako.
Amen.
In the next 2 years, you'll come to me and tell me, ulinibariki kwa show fulani, and keep this clip.
Yes, I will keep this clip.
Takuwa mbali.
Thank you.
2 years.
Thank you.
Uta struggle kidogo hapa katikati. Because to struggle it's part of success. Growth. Yes, part of growth.
Thank you. Now that the trolling was happening, at the same time she had lost the husband, and there were guys saying, oh, she killed him rather, and all these people are saying mean things, and most of them actually do not know her or have never met her personally. Twitter, she was trending for days after days. What would you want to tell guys who are maliciously posting things they did not know about?
I already spoke about those guys before in other interviews, and specifically during my son-in-law's burial, I released them because I had really carried them badly. And I know throughout my life as a person, I have a testimony that a lot of people who have crossed my path in a bad way, God has punished them. And very badly before my very own eyes.
Yeah.
When the Bible says he lays a table, he prepares a table before my enemies. Yeah?
Yeah.
Anaandaa meza mbele ya watesi wangu.
Yes.
Watesi wako, those people persecute you. Those people, you are haters. You're haters.
Haters.
You're haters. You understand? So, laying a table does not mean, and God gives you affluence or stuff to boast to your haters that look what I am. No, God deals with them. And usually I have learned to tell God, please forgive them. Because as a human being also, there's a way God deals with someone and you feel this is because of what they did to me, and you feel really bad. You're like, if I was able to help. So I've seen a lot of people, God dealing with that. People, let me give you an example. There are thieves that broke into my house some years back. They tied me up and my daughter. They tied our hands, our legs, and they started wrapping our stuff while we were watching in our face. Wow. They started wrapping our electronics and shoes and clothing and all that. But in my heart, even if they had stuffed my ties and some other fabrics in my mouth, because I was...
So you can't scream.
I was rebuking them. I was telling them, do anything you want to do. Steal everything you want to steal out of this house, but don't touch my daughter. If anyone touches my daughter, I will die with you. Nakufa na wewe. Nakufa. So wewe nyamaza. So they came and wakachukua tai zangu wakaingiza kwa mdomo. So I was But then something reminded me, like, even if they stuffed your mouth with stuff so that you don't talk, there's a way you can talk using your mind.
Yeah.
So I was quoting scripture in my head saying, let God arise and his enemies be scattered. That scripture just popped in my head like this. And I said it, I think, like, for as long as they were in that house. Like, I think I must have recited it like 50 or 60 or 70 times. Let God arise, his enemies be scattered. Let God arise, his enemies. But I was just saying, So wanafikiri mimi nimeogopa, kumbe I'm reciting. And do you know, they took off even before they finished packing those things. Nobody sent them out of that house. Somehow fear just came upon them.
They never even carried anything from the house?
No. I think the only thing they carried was, I think, radio, the stereo that was there. But the rest of the things were left on the floor, packed up in boxes, shoes, clothes. They were left there. And then my daughter, courageous as she is, she came and untied me. And then she untied herself using, just like in the movies. Akatoa na meno and everything. Then she came to my bed. I can untie. Then I came out screaming, Wezi, Wezi, Wezi. They had gone.
Wow.
The neighbors peeping through the windows like this.
Nairobi watu wezi kukusaidia.
Then after they've gone, wanaanza kutoka, wameiba nini? wamechukua nini, like rudini kwa nyumba zenu. So
they just want the gist.
Yes.
They don't want to help you.
They don't want to help. And the stories, the mshene wameiba kwa Abel. So we came back to the house. I told my daughter, kneel down, let us pray. Actually, God scattered my enemies. And then we prayed. I prayed for them. I was so mad. I had this rage, like I wish I caught one of them. Najua vile anachomanga mwizi, nikasema I wish ningechomba. Sasa nikasema nimekuachia Mungu. Do you know, in 1 month 4 of them were killed around that area, the same guys, and they were killed after confessing that they stole from my house. 3 were shot, 1 was set on fire.
That's a bad death.
And I felt really bad. I said, it's the knees that we knelt down there to pray. And then I left the vengeance to God. I said, God,
deal with them.
Deal with them. And God is a consuming fire. So I usually don't like doing. So to all those people who wrote all those propaganda and malicious stuff about my daughter and bullied her through social media and stuff like that, I already said that I forgave you, because if I release you to God, you will live to regret, or maybe you will not live to regret it. So I forgive you wherever you are. This should be a lesson to you, that please mind your own business when it comes to stuff like this, because you do not know the person you are talking to. You do not know where they stand before God. Because a lot of people, they branded her a lot of bad things. How can you kill your own husband? You're carrying his baby. How can a woman, that guy was a strong guy.
Yeah.
Ruth's husband was a strong guy. How could she possibly just set him on fire? Weak
without
as she is,
even fighting.
Without even fighting, she did not even catch a fire anywhere. Why? Why would it be like so? So a lot of things went on, but I released. It's unfortunate that I'm going back to this, but because you asked, I released these people, so that also my daughter can heal, and so that I can. Because the more you continue holding resentment in your heart, someone said holding resentment, harboring resentment within you is like taking poison and waiting for someone else to die. So I would not die. No.
Raising your daughter has not been easy. Her mom was your high school sweetheart.
Yes.
Who eloped with another boyfriend, and then you remarried again. 5 years in, your wife decides to move on because of issues within the marriage. What have you learned about love and relationships?
Boyo, are you a prophetess? How come you know so much about me?
Investigation.
Some of those things are very deep.
Investigations.
Okay. My goodness.
Mimi sipendi watu wakae hapa na nisiwape truth.
Truth meter.
Truth meter.
Wow, okay. Thanks for asking. But please ask again.
Ruth's mom was your high school sweetheart.
Yes.
Who later eloped with another man, remarried.
Yes.
You came to Nairobi, fell in love, got married to this beautiful woman.
Yes.
5 years in, she decided this was not working for her and moved on.
Yes.
What have you learned about love and relationships?
Because what breaks most relationships is not just violence, is not infidelity, is not money, it is ego and pride. Because these 2 things are the ones that dictate all these other aspects. Infidelity, because when a man goes out cheating, it's because his ego has been tampered with. When a woman goes out cheating, it's because her ego has been tampered with. She has not been loved the correct way. She has not earned trust from this person who is married to her. So a woman was created to be loved.
Yeah.
When you don't give her what she deserves to be given, she will seek it from elsewhere. And that's where trouble crops in.
Yeah. Yeah.
So from my long story, just like you've briefly narrated, love is very complicated. True love comes from God. And if just the 2 of you learn to know that true love comes from God, first of all, if you embrace God's love between the 2 of you, and then embrace trust and get to know each other's needs. What does she want from me, and what do I have? What does she require of me? Then you guys will be able to pull through, because love is complicated. Love is complicated.
Is love enough in marriage?
No, love is not enough in marriage, because not even in marriage, in all other relationships, love is not enough. There's something called friendship. Friendship is the basis. Is the foundation.
Yeah.
Friendship is the foundation of a relationship, because you can fall in love with someone, like people say, to fall in love at first sight, but you actually don't know this person. You're not even a friend to this person. But when you get to love someone, I know this is what Boyo likes. What things do you enjoy together? What things do you like doing together? What don't you like? What kind of statements don't you like about you? What kind of comments you don't like about you? Like, what comments do I make?
Because the good side, the things I like is never a factor. The things I don't like is where the problem starts.
Thank you. That's where the problem starts. So I need to know the things you don't like, because the things you like, sometimes you will.
It is easy for you to execute.
It is easy for me, execute them. But the things you don't like, those are mistakes I'm bound to make.
Yeah.
So when we become friends, we learn. And even when I step on your toe, I will apologize, because even before you say a word, I'll be like, please, I'm sorry. Najua upendi, please forgive me. As friendship is very, very important, because there are people who have been married for many years, but they're never friends. That's why you find ladies nowadays mko na watu wanaitwa BFF, na unakuta BFF sio mtu wako, sio husband wako, sio boyfriend wako.
But you talk so many times with this BFF than your husband. Which is sad.
Exactly. So nurture friendship more than anything else, because when friendship becomes real, then the issue of trust is no longer there. Unajua mtu wako vizuri kabisa. Hata this is stories za simu atu, don't touch my phone, kila mtu na simu yake. Sometimes when msha solve trust issues, simu inakuwa tu hapo. Simu inakuwa hapo. Ikilia, utapika ama usipik, it's up to you. Lakini hakuna ile ati let me pick and see with this calling.
Just waiting for it
to ring. So those are the issues.
I watched one of your interviews, penye nimetoa some of these prophecies.
I figured.
And you said your second wife decided to go because of it. We cannot call it childlessness, because you said you guys went to the doctor, you were good, and she was good. It was just not your time. What will you tell other couples who are going through that period now?
Point of correction, Boyo. That wasn't my second wife. I've only had one wife in my lifetime.
Yes. The high school sweetheart wife.
That's right.
Yes,
so the
wife.
High school sweetheart is just my baby mama. And then I got married. After she eloped with this guy, that's when I got married to my wife. Yes. And things never worked out after all. 5 years. Like you've said, from what I heard from her friends, it wasn't an issue of childlessness. Because as a person, I had many times encouraged her and told her, like, I tried to show her love, like, listen, it's not all about children. I married you for who you are, and I did not marry you with a projection of having like 10 children. Luya mwanaume luya. No. Me, I loved you. Nilikupata ukiwa peke yako. And even if we were meant to live like this for the rest of our lives, mi nakupenda hivyo. But si tumeenda kwa daktari, tumeangaliwa kila kitu kwa sawa. I have a feeling that in God's time tutapata mtoto. Then Ruth's mom passed on, and then we had to come and live with Ruth. And it was even a plus for her, because now she had a child in her life. Yeah, even if she was looking to have company, like when I'm not at home, she has no one she can send to talk to or share stories with. Ruth came into her life, and they bonded very well, and they became mom and daughter. So I kept telling her, like, see, God has given you another child, because the mom is dead, I'm the husband, I'm the father. So this is legally
your child.
not even just legally, by blood, she's your child because I'm your husband.
Yeah.
But I think she held on to it for a while, but she, at the back of her mind, she just wanted her own biological. And from reliable sources, from her close friends, that's the reason she left. I don't know if she was meant to try it from elsewhere, But yeah, it happened like that.
So what will you tell other couples going through it now? They're looking for a child. They've done the wedding. They did everything right, and it's not happening.
This is a very common phenomenon amongst couples who are really anxious to get babies, because when you're really anxious, even the Bible says, do not be anxious about anything in your life, but by prayer, supplication, and thanksgiving, let your requests be known unto God. Hallelujah.
Amen.
So anxiety is a very bad thing. Anxiety will deny you great chances and great opportunities. Once you learn to relax and be patient and wait and stay positive, things just come popping up in your life like this. So a lot of people and a lot of couples actually have not embraced this issue of being patient, blocking anxiety from their lives, because you get mostly either both of them or one of them. But mostly it's the ladies, because the ladies, once you get married, your aunties, your mother, your sisters, they want to see a child. Everyone is saying, nataka mjuku, nataka nini, nataka na auntie.
Ni kama menu.
Yeah, ni kama menu.
Like you're supposed to
exactly
order and then it just happens.
Exactly. Wana order kutoka kwako. So they add more pressure.
Yeah.
And you're not just living for yourself and your husband. You're living for your people. Every time you go to visit your mother, you're like, I hope she's not going to ask me that question. You go there and you look belittled and like, I'm habari boyo. Mami niko salama tu niko. Like you feel like the next question is going to pop up.
Umenona tuko watatu.
Nakuona.
Really?
Habari nzuri nakuja. Na umenona tu because umeomoka. Lakini sinakuwa more pressure. So number one, learn to be compose yourself. Be patient. Stay positive. And when it comes, you'll not even notice it. You'll not even struggle. Like a lot of ladies, I speak to people myself, and they say, tumejaribu hivi. I'm just trying to be PG. Tumejaribu hivi.
Madawa, style, kila kitu imehappen.
Tumejaribu zote. Lakini haifanyiki. Kitu kaambiwa na daktari mwingine tujaribu hii style. Haifanyiki. No, don't overwork. Don't overwork. Wacha kukula magali, kunaenda unakula sijui manini. Mwanaume naye ameenda makula seeds za lemon, siku moja amekula, sio lemon inaitwaje, malenge.
Yeah, pumpkin seeds.
Pumpkin seeds, mwanaume amejaza kwa tumbo mpaka kula mkombero na kula nini. My friend, relax. God alikutengeneza perfectly well. Just relax. When God's time comes, utashangaa tu, God atakusurprise. Mtu kama sorry, I keep diverting to the Bible so much.
No, it's okay.
Because I was brought up as Christian. Mtu kama Sarah alipata mtoto akiwa miaka ngapi? Mzee alikuwa patient. Sembuse wewe umefika 35 years na unaanza kupanic hapo, unaona kama unaingia menopause na hujapata mtoto. You don't live for other people, live for yourself. Live for yourself. Raha jipe mwenyewe. Mtoto akija ni mtoto wako. Au watu wengine watakusaidia kunyonyesha ama kumlinda huyo mtoto. Ni wewe peke yako. So relax, wait. When the right time comes, utaanza tu kusikia ukienda kutapika asubuhi.
Okay. Good advice.
Thank you.
Will we ever see another Mrs. Abel?
Hey, Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Jesus is Lord.
Ama maybe ako kwa picture na sisi hatujui kuna Mrs. Abel.
Sasa umeanza kuniingiza. Unajua mimi spend limelight. Unaona hizo mambo za marriage na nini. Kwa limelight Abel Amunga no. Mimi spend. What I went through in relationships, and even after my high school sweetheart and my wife, there's another one major relationship that I really suffered from. Iliniangusha sana. So iliniua kabisa.
Vunja roho.
Vunja roho. This is a lady I had banked everything because after Ruth became of age, she actually was free now because you see, there's a time I promised her, I told her, you will never see. After my wife left, and then it was just me and her, and she was about 9, I think. Mm-hmm. So I told her, you will never see another woman in my life. I will never expose you to another stepmother. Mm-hmm. And you will never be exposed to another stepfather. It will just be me and you in this life. And I will try, I'll hustle and make sure I provide everything that you need in this life. And I did actually by the help of God. Mm-hmm. She got education, she got clothing, she got food and everything. And that's why she is who she is today. Mm-hmm. So what was I coming to?
Heartbroken.
Yes, I was heartbroken. Later on, when I tried it out, I got heartbroken. Unfortunately, this becomes a trend when you've been heartbroken before. You're bound to be inakuwa recycled. Mpaka upitia deliverance. And then kitu inaitwa fear inakuja. Unakuta mimi na encourage watu lakini fear inakuja. Unaona, I think it's time for me to settle down. But who is this? Ni nani huyu atanipatia what I want? You understand? Mm-hmm. My late dad, God rest his soul in peace, died last year. He was my role model. Mm-hmm. And I feel so bad that my dad died before I introduced a lady. Before
meeting your wife.
Yes, because that was his prayer. It was like before I sleep, he used to say, kabla nilale, because he never used to believe in dying. Mm-hmm. He used to say,
he's going to rest.
I'm going to rest. And actually he just rested. Mm-hmm. So he had actually projected seeing another Mrs. Abel before he died. I never saw one. I just kept postponing. Dad, nitamleta. Mzee nitamleta. Nitaleta tu msichana hapa. Nataka kuona msichana wangu. Nitamleta. Even some point I thought of just taking another lady, any other lady.
Just to
tuende nyumbani tutembee home kidogo. Nimwambie tuende tu tusalimie mzee wangu. Alafu niambie mzee baadaye ndio huyo, lakini kwa sababu huwezi danganya baba yako.
Huwezi danganyana.
No, because ni baraka.
And again it's bad.
It's bad.
Yeah.
So nikasema let me just take my time, even if I got a woman right now wherever he is, anaona. So I am of age now. I'm like 2 years to celebrate my 60th birthday.
Hey. Silver Jubilee.
Yes, Silver Jubilee. 2 years to go. So at some point, I will definitely need someone to settle down with. Someone that I can sit down with and reminisce and tell about my stories and talk about my failures and my success. And, just companionship. Not necessarily for having kids, because now Ruth anazaa tena mimi nianze kuzaa.
Any grandfather, the newest in town.
Imagine tena nianze kuzaa size tena mambo ya diaper tena size nianze nazo bora. No, I would only, like my dad, I was saying, my dad used to say, and I quote him, tafuta mama akona watoto kama 5 hivi weke kwa nyumba mkae na. I'm like, Dad, tafuta mama ambaye bwana wake amekufa akona watoto kama 5 hivi weke kwa nyumba mkae.
Extra practical.
Watoto 5.
Kwa sababu hiyo ni kuraise tena wakikuja kwa nyumba they are yours.
Yeah. Aliniogopesha sana. So nikaona nikimletea msichana kama Boyo hivi sasa wewe nipelekea. Akasema huyu nimekataa. Huyu hapana.
Atakusumbua
atakuwa mtoto wangu. So yeah, at this age there's a complication because somehow for the ladies, sorry to say this, so the ladies who match me size, and I should be ladies around 40, 45, 50. Naelewa?
Yeah.
And bring me 5 ladies who are within that age group between 40 and 50. Walisimamisha hapa. Utakuta wanakanikinita, habari kijana.
Oh no.
Au ni wa mama sana kwangu, ma-auntie.
Ma-auntie. So
utakuta, and those are the ladies ambao ni candidates ambao watu wengi wanasema find a woman.
Your top candidates.
My top candidates. Sasa au tu utakuta wananiita.
So kama 45 to 50 wanakuita auntie. Not auntie.
Kijana yangu.
Wanakuita kijana yangu. Shuka chini to 40.
Sasa tena hapo ni shida.
Yes, hapo by the way 40s wanarukwanga akili.
Hapo ni shida. Kwanza life starts 40. Mwanamke akishagonga 40, my friend. But anyway, it all depends on individuals. Not all people are the same.
No, like most of them, it happens. I've seen.
So now you see where my dilemma is? That's where my dilemma is. But I believe God's house, God's store has a lot.
Yeah.
God's house has a lot. So
when the time is right, it will happen.
He'll just drop like, ndo huyu. Nitampata huko kwa praise and worship, ama nitampata huko kwa street huko kama anahubiri hapo ambassador. Nimwangalie niseme huyu ndiye
the one.
Nahubiri watu wamekaa kwa ile mawe ya archives hapo anahubiri. Na mimi nikae hapo nikimaliza nimwambie, can I have your number for an offering? But God is mysterious. God works in mysterious ways.
You never know when they come. You're a grandfather right now. What's your favorite thing to do with your granddaughter?
I'd like her to get to an age that I can just take her alone with me to a park and play with her and spoil her. You understand? Yes. Because right now, I'll just hold her and let her with her mother. But I want that age, that vibrant age when they can run around in our fata huku na huku. They're so energetic.
They keep you young.
They keep me young. That's what I'm looking for.
Will we be seeing you producing your own shows?
Amen to that. I'm looking forward to producing my own shows, God willing, in the next few months or years. But time is coming. Yes. Yes, that's my vision. I will be producing my own shows.
Okay. Where can guys find you on social media if they want your services? As a music coach, as an actor, as a voiceover artist, where can guys find you?
I am Abel Amunga on Instagram. I am Igwe Abel Amunga on Facebook. Igwe with a double E. Igwe Abel Amunga on Facebook.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much, Boyo.
Tumemaliza.
It's been a great pleasure.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for watching the show. Join us next week for another amazing show, and also subscribe.